Hi. So cyberbullying, it's a complex topic. And I want to ask the question today, is there such a thing as a typical cyberbully, or what does a typical cyberbully look like? And the reason that I ask that is because it's hard to tell, and our kids generally won't tell us if they're involved in cyberbullying, depending on what side of the equation they're on. So usually on most sides they won't tell us. Certainly it's hard to imagine your daughter or your son coming up to you one day and saying, hey, guess what, Mum, guess what, Dad, I bullied someone today online. Okay, that's not likely to happen. If your child is subject of a cyberbully, if they're being bullied themselves, they often won't tell you as well. There's lots of different reasons, several different reasons for that. And even if they've seen others, if they've just seen a situation online where someone has been bullied, they may not tell you about that either. So it's important to look for signs of that and to just have a think about, well, who might become a cyberbully, and what exactly are we looking for? So unfortunately, there isn't really necessarily one kind of person that will become a cyberbully. Plenty of people can involve themselves in that behaviour. But pretty often, a person who becomes a cyberbully, bullies other people, often was a victim of cyberbullying themselves. So it's really quite common that they've seen it firsthand from the other side. They know it's not real nice to be bullied, and they don't want to go back there again. And as a result, they think that if they're the perpetrator of the behaviour, they become the cyberbully, then they're not going to be bullied themselves, and that's a better position to be in their mind. So here's a really sad story, a really sad situation that I heard about, a true story, where there was a high school, in this high school, a student, a girl, was being cyberbullied really, really badly for an ongoing period of time. Eventually had enough and saw no way out and committed suicide. Really, really sad situation. Her parents were obviously just devastated and completely overcome by fear, and weren't dealing with it too well. And she also had a sister who also wasn't dealing with it so well. But the sister had a different way of dealing with it to the parents. So while the parents were sort of struggling to function, I guess, in their everyday lives, the sister had seen what her sister had endured, seen what she'd gone through that led to her suicide. And so she was pretty determined that she wasn't going to follow the same path, that she wasn't going to end up in the same place as her sister had. So she decided to take the upper hand, take control of the situation, and she was going to be the one to bully others, so that in her mind she was safe from being bullied herself. So she was absolutely relentless. She was really, really nasty to the other girls that she was bullying. And she was spurred on not only by the idea that she just absolutely refused to be a victim herself, but also she was desperately trying to get attention from her parents. And of course they were in a different space, and they were having all sorts of troubles of their own. So you can see from a situation like that everyone's a victim. Nobody wins out of cyberbullying. It's just a horrible situation. And punishing the sister for her behaviour isn't really going to fix the problem. Okay, so clearly she needs help. She doesn't really need to be expelled from the school. It's not going to help her. What she needs is counselling. She needs some professional psychological help to deal with the situation. Okay, to deal with her grief with her sister, and she needs to be taught to understand that harassing other kids and other girls is not the way to deal with it. It's unacceptable, and it's not fair, and it's not going to help her deal with her own grief in the situation. So cyberbullying is really difficult. It can be a very difficult situation, and it's really important to know what to do about it. If you are a parent, you have kids, the chances of them being involved in cyberbullying unfortunately is quite high. It's important to take action straight away. If you do find that your child or your children are involved in cyberbullying, there is a right way and a wrong way to deal with it. And you'll find, and it's really important to understand those right ways and wrong ways, so that you make sure obviously you don't respond in the wrong way, and you respond in a constructive, helpful way if you find that something is happening. So there's plenty of information that you can find that will help you deal with cyberbullying. Hopefully you won't have to, but if you do, you'll find a really useful article on my site, childrenandtechnology.com /stop-cyber-bullying. You'll find that one really helpful. Also, if you want help with everything else to do with cyberbullying, and not just cyberbullying, to do with all the other risks of being online. So there's online predators that we need to be aware of, there's privacy issues, there's internet addiction. So many things can go wrong with our kids being online as much as they are these days. If you want help with all of that, then the best thing to do is to jump and join me online for a webinar. You can do it in your pajamas. You can register for free, it doesn't cost anything, but it's just packed full of really useful information that will help you know how you can keep your children safe and healthy and happy online. So I hope to see you there. This is Ruth Deering, Peaceful Digital Parenting Expert, #1 international best-selling author, mother of 2, public speaker. So it's been fantastic to see you. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you soon.